And
So,
Mr. Chair, lastly, may I confirm if the chairman made an announcement that Mr. Saldico will not be invited?
yes, as you know, you have been a congressman for many years. There's what we call interparliamentary courtesy. We do not invite or summon members of Congress in the same manner that they don't invite senators to their hearings. It is up to the congressmen or senators concerned to appear before their inquiries in aid of legislation. That is a tradition.
Yes, Mr.
And
Chair.
that tradition is not accorded to individual members of Congress of either house. It is accorded to the institution.
Yes,
Is that, yeah.
you will.
Yeah, but if he is expelled, then we'll invite him. He's no longer member of Congress.
Representative Chanco was not expelled, Mr. Chair, but
Yes, but he is
when he was
voluntarily,
invited,
he is voluntarily appearing before the committee.
yes, but there was an invitation.
No, we did not extend any invitation to
I was the one who invited him
Well,
when I was the chairman.
You can speak for yourself.
Yes, that's why. He can be invited. There is no violation of interparliamentary.
Anyway, that's water under the bridge. He will appear, I think, anytime now because he was informed by Senator Ejercito. So can we just proceed? We have a long
Sinasabi ko
day.
po yung tungkol kay Mr. Saldico.
All
Kung
right.
sakaling
Go ahead.
halimbawa nandito siya, we can invite him.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No issue there. Okay.
Ayan mga kababayan, ang panibagong sagutan na naman ni Senator Marcolita at Senator Lacson. Ano ho? Dahil ang itong si Saldico mukhang talaga mga kababayan hindi na po makakatakas dito po sa investigasyon sa Senado, mga kababayan. At ito pa pong malalaking pangalan, nakakagulat po ano ho. At tungkol po dito sa matagal na po natin sinasabi sa inyo, nako, bandang dulo po ng videong ito mga kababayan, may mapapanood po kayo na magkukumpirma po, no? Magkukumpirma po doon sa mga nauna na po nating mga ginawang reaksyon. Tungkol po ito mga kababayan sa Lady Dragon. Ha? Nako mga kababayan, ito na po pala siguro ang dahilan. Ha? Kung ano po ito, panoorin po natin ng sabay-sabay. Lahat po ang revelasyon ngayon kung sino po, bakit, bakit po nagkaganito ang lahat-lahat. Panoorin po natin to. At bago po natin panoorin mga kababayan, paki-like naman at paki-share, paki-subscribe ang ating channel sa mga bago pa lang po. Ngayon pa lang po nakasubscribe. Thank you po sa inyo lahat mga kababayan. Tuloy na po tayo sa video.
So, today we will hear the testimony of Mr. or former Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo. Kindly stand up so your oath will be administered by the Director General of the Bureau.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Thank you. You may take your seat.
Thank you. Are you ready to make your statement?
Sandali lang guys, napansin nyo sa gilid, ayun nung nasa gilid yung napaganon ng si Erwin Tulfo ay we can bend the law, di ba? Baloktutin niya yung batas, abogado pala ito si Kimbo mga kababayan, abogado pala yan, ano? Ay ngayon mukhang nakasombrero na siya, mayroon na siyang nasa harapan niya si Tulfo. Naka-face mask na siya para hindi na makita yung napapangimip siya pag mayroon na. Ituloy natin mga kababayan, napansin ko lang, napansin nyo ba? Ayan tingnan nyo mga kababayan, patalasas lang ng konti yan, tingnan nyo, iwas na ako ng konti. Ayan di ba? Si Tulfo yan, siyang napangimin noon. Okay mga kababayan, tuloy tayo tuloy tayo. Panoorin nyo po ito sabay-sabay.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
You may proceed.
Dear Senator Lacson and honorable members of the Blue Ribbon Committee, I am Roberto Bernardo, formerly an Undersecretary for Operations of the Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH. I was summoned to appear today before the Honorable Blue Ribbon Committee and required to testify in connection with its ongoing inquiry in aid of legislation into the reported anomalies in certain DPWH projects, flood control projects. Bago ko po ilahad ang aking nalalaman sa mga bagay na nais tumbukin ng kagalang-galang na Blue Ribbon Committee, ako po ay umaamin sa aking maling nagawa. Ako po ay hindi naging matatag at tapat sa pagpapatupad ng tungkulin na ipinagkatiwala sa akin ng ating pamahalaan at sambayanan. Taus-puso at puno ng pagsisisi na ako po ay humihingi ng kapatawaran sa Diyos, sa ating bansa at mga kababayan, gayon din sa aking pamilya, mga kaibigan at sa lahat ng aking binigo. Nakagawa po ako ng pagkakamali at pinahintulutan ko po ang aking sarili na maging kasangkapan sa pagpapatupad ng isang masamang gawain. Handa po akong gawin ang lahat ng nararapat upang maiwasto ang aking kamalian at maiwasan na ito'y mangyaring muli. I wish to assure the Honorable Blue Ribbon Committee of my full cooperation with the investigation. I am submitting an affidavit outlining my knowledge and of and involvement in certain events material to the subject of investigation. Moreover, I will disclose and expound on related incidents within my personal knowledge, mindful not only of the materiality of my testimony, but also of my rights, as well as fearful of what effects my disclosures will have on my family's safety and well-being. I have applied before the Department of Justice for coverage as a state witness under Republic Act No. 6981, otherwise known as Witness Protection, Security and Benefit Act. I hope the Honorable Blue Ribbon Committee will find merit in my application and favorably endorse the same to the DOJ. With the assurance of the Honorable Blue Ribbon Committee that my rights and benefits under RA 6981 shall be respected, I am prepared to submit the aforesaid affidavit to Honorable Blue Ribbon Committee and swear to and testify on the same, with the approval of the Honorable DOJ Secretary on the disclosure thereof for such purposes. The highly sensitive nature of the disclosures made in my affidavit cannot be stressed enough. These deal with involvement in irregularities of 4 senators and 1 congressman, 1 member of a constitutional commission, and 1 undersecretary, seriously undermining public trust in 2 out of 3 branches of our government and a constitutional body, thereby posing a significant threat to our national security, as it may lead to political instability, which may weaken the ability of the government to function effectively. 25 of September 2025, Makati City, Metro Manila. And this, Mr. Chair, signed na po ito.
Okay. May we hear from Secretary Remulla, since he mentioned about his application for admission into the program?
Your Honor, we will have to evaluate his statements in relation to all the other testimonies that we have gathered in the DOJ and in the Blue Ribbon Committee.
The Senate President,
Mr. Chairman,
Guzman.
we would like to listen to your sworn affidavit, if you have one, or an affidavit that you will swear to complete the disclosure that you're talking about.
Ayun na.
Otherwise, those are mere general statements. Please, thank you.
Yes, Mr. President, Mr. Chair, may I be allowed to read the
Yes, you may proceed, Yusek Bernardo.
affidavit? I, Roberto R. Bernardo, Filipino, of legal age, a resident of Malolos City, Bulacan, under oath, deposed and state. In connection with the ongoing Senate Blue Ribbon Committee investigations, I intend to submit this affidavit, which provides details of my knowledge about matters within my jurisdiction relating to flood control projects when I was still serving as Undersecretary for Operations of the Department of Public Works and Highways. This affidavit lays out details.
Sorry, excuse me. You have your counsel now with you?
Yes, sir. Yes, po,
Okay,
Mr.
on
Chair.
record. Okay.
This affidavit lays out details of the involvement of legislators as well as other government officials, with a commitment on my part to expand these disclosures as my best recollection of facts and records may serve. Since the receipt an invitation to appear in these proceedings, I began collating, vetting, and consolidating all written communications, documents, tables, and matrices and lists in my possession, the retrieval of which has been difficult since I retired from public service last August 2025. With the benefit of more time and greater freedom to access files, I am confident that I can provide even more material and relevant evidence that would clarify the issues once and for all. Number 4, more importantly, I am executing and submitting this affidavit with my full and absolute consent as an integral part of my application to be admitted under the Witness Protection Program through the favorable recommendations of the Honorable Chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee, Senator Ping Lacson, and the Honorable Senate President, Tito Soto, under Section 4, as well as Section 10 of Republic Act Number 6981, otherwise known as Witness Protection, Security, and Benefit Act before the Department of Justice. I attest and confirm that the names, dates, and transactions mentioned hereunder are based on my direct personal knowledge and have ample documentary support where necessary or desirable if given full opportunity to retrieve the same.
Ito mga kababayan, direct full knowledge po ng sinasabi niya. So siya talaga ang may kinalaman dito or alam niya ito mga kababayan. Tuloy natin ha.
Background facts. I earned my bachelor's degree in Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering in 1984. I am a registered civil engineer by profession. In the year 1985, I began my 40-year stint in the DPWH as a laborer. I then climbed the ranks through the years as Associate Civil Engineer, Engineer 2, Engineer 3, and as Assistant District Engineer, Assistant Regional Director. I then became Assistant Regional Director CESO 4 sometime in 2012 until my appointment as Assistant Secretary in 2016. I finally became Undersecretary more than a year later and remained such until my retirement on August 2025. I met former District Engineer Henry Alcantara during my assignment in the Laguna 2nd District Engineering Office. Engineer Alcantara, Engineer Bryce Hernandez, Engineer J.P. Mendoza, and Engineer Algie Jumasig all belong to the Bulacan 1st DEO. 2020-2040 scheme. Sometime after the State of the Nation address of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. in July 2025, and while I was already on sick leave, I heard from Secretary Bunoan for the first time that Engineer Alcantara, Engineer Hernandez, Engineer Mendoza, and Engineer Dumasig were engaged in contracting activities using the licenses of other contractors. Subsequently, Engineer Hernandez confirmed this arrangement through one of the legislative hearings and by other contractors whose license they used. According to Bryce Hernandez, their sharing is 20-20-20-40% from these activities. My understanding is that they had prepared and signed documents for purposes of collecting payments, which they then apportioned the profits amongst themselves. However, I must admit that I have no personal knowledge on the exact actions they took to accomplish this scheme, and I can only be asked general questions on the systems in place that would have allowed this modus operandi to happen. I categorically state that I have neither knowledge nor participation in these business activities, which were entirely done by Engineer Alcantara, Engineer Hernandez, Engineer Mendoza, and Engineer Dumasig on their own. Ghost projects. At about the same time, after the 2025 SONA, I also heard for the first time that aside from the 2020-2040 scheme, were flood control projects, ghost projects, for which Engineer Alcantara, Engineer Hernandez, Engineer Mendoza, and Engineer Dumasig were also responsible. These were confirmed later by Secretary Bunaan during a separate legislative hearings. I called up Engineer Alcantara to ask him about these flood control ghost projects. He denied any participation. Subsequently, he likewise told me that he even convened the officers of Bulacan 1st DEO to confront them about these ghost projects, and that some officers, it was Engineer Hernandez who was the primary person responsible for the same. In the exact words of Engineer Alcantara, Si Bryce po yan. I categorically state that I have neither knowledge nor participation in these flood control ghost projects. Congressman Saldico. My personal knowledge regarding Congressman Saldico are set out as follows.
Ayan na, mga kababayan.
Congressman Saldico one time called me to say that he met Engineer Alcantara and wanted to confirm, maayos bang kausap si Engineer Alcantara? To which I replied, maayos po. Engineer Alcantara then told me that Kong Saldico was asking for a 25% commission, and out of that amount, 2% was to be shared equally between Engineer Alcantara and myself. In his exact words, "Boss, hati na tayo sa 2%. Furthermore, Engineer Alcantara would tell me every time that he made deliveries of cash to Congressman Zaldico in compliance with his commitment to Congressman Zaldico. In this affidavit, I shall mention my personal knowledge regarding Senator Chis Escudero
Naku, yan na.
as follows. Maynard Ngu and I are close friends, and we go years back. He is also a close friend and campaign contributor of Senator Chis Escudero. Maynard Ngu asked me to submit a list of projects. I personally submitted a list of projects to Maynard Ngu, and some of the items therein pertaining to Valenzuela and Marinduque projects were subsequently included in the General Appropriations Act. A copy of the list of Valenzuela and Marinduque projects is here to attach to this affidavit as Annex A. Annex A. When I gave him the list and in relation to the commitment, I asked him, "Boss, paano to?" Maynard replied, "Bahala ka na." I asked, "Boss, okay na ba ang 20%? Maynard said, "Okay." After inclusion of the projects in the GAA, I delivered 20% of approximately 800 million or about 160 million to Maynard Ngu, which was meant for Senator Escudero. Finally, I would like to add that deliveries of cash were personally made to me, by me, to Maynard Ngu at his office in Manila. I confirm that Commissioner Lipana requested that he be referred to officers of DPWH Bulacan 1st DEO. I referred him to Engineer Bryce Hernandez. I have no personal knowledge if they were able to secure a project in Bulacan 1st DEO. Furthermore, and subject to possible referral to an executive session upon the approval of the Honorable Chairman, I attest to the broader systemic issues in DPWH that are widespread. My statements hereunder are based on personal knowledge and direct interactions with the personalities involved, with great risk to my safety and that of my family members. I confirm the following. Yusek Trigib Olaybar of DepEd. Yusek Trigib Olaybar used to work for Senator Ramon Bong Revilla and Senator Sani Angara before his appointment as Yusek for the Department of Education. Sometime 2010, I met for the first time Yusek Olaybar, who was then working in the office of Senator Bong Revilla. Later, I learned that he transferred to the office of Senator Edgardo Angara and then later to Senator Sani Angara. Sometime 2024, Yusek Olaybar personally called me for a meeting to discuss about unprogrammed appropriations, supposedly for the office of the Executive Secretary. In the said meeting, he requested me to submit a list of projects. After the meeting, I asked Bulacan 1st DEO to prepare a list of projects for funding. Thereafter, Engineer Alcantara submitted a list of projects worth 2.85 billion. Here to attach as Annex B is a list of those projects. Subsequently, I submitted this list to Yusek Olaybar. Yusek Olaybar told me that the commitment is 15%. In his words, "Boss, 15 yan." Thereafter, the DPWH received a special allotment release order for 2.85 billion for the projects listed in Annex B. Engineer Alcantara, from time to time, would collect and deliver the agreed 15% commitment to me, which I delivered or caused to be delivered to Yusek Olivar in Magallanes, Makati, and other places.
Yan na, mga kababayan. Si Escudero, Saldico.
Senator Ramon Bong Revilla.
Nako, yan na.
Sometime in the year 2024, Senator Revilla and I met where I gave him a list of projects given to me by Engineer Alcantara. Senator Revilla asked for a commitment, which I suggested. Then he approved at 25% of the total amount of the projects indicated in the list here to attach as Annex C. I relayed the 25% commitment to Engineer Alcantara and told him that Senator Revilla will appreciate additional contributions for his senatorial re-election bid. Engineer Alcantara collected the 25% commitment, or about 125 million, which was turned over to me and then delivered to Senator Revilla in his house in Cavite.
Nako.
Senator Nancy Binay.
Nako, patay.
Sometime in the year 2024, Carlin Villa, a staff of trusted confidant of Senator Binay, called me and asked for a commitment which was set at 15% of the total amount of the projects indicated in the list here to attach as Annex D. I relayed the 15% commitment to Engineer Alcantara.
OMG, may Binay pala mga kababayan. Nako. Tuloy natin.
Engineer Alcantara collected 15% commitment, or about 37 million, which was turned over to me and which I then delivered to Senator Binay at a house in Quezon City. Given the complexities of the transactions and personalities involved, I humbly reserve the right to submit a supplementary affidavit if warranted in the premises. I attest to the truth of the foregoing statements based on my personal knowledge and authentic records.
Nako.
In witness or hope, I will be affixing my signature this day of September 2025 here. Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Kindly sign your affidavit in the presence of everybody.
Nako, mga kababayan. Nakakagulantang itong mga revelasyon. Nako po.
Here, Mr. Chair, I have already signed it.
For the record, you signed the same affidavit that you read, no?
Yes po,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chair.
Maraming salamat, Yusek. Secretary Remulla is recognized.
Your Honor,
Kaya pala mga kababayan, isa ito siguro sa dahilan kung bakit parang sinasabi nila na may mas malalaki pang pangalan, may mga senador pa pula na mababanggit dito. At ito siguro din ang isa sa dahilan, perhaps masasabi natin mga kababayan, na dahilan kung bakit nasibak ng biglaan itong si Senator Chis Escudero dito nga po sa pagiging Senate President, at pinalitan nga po ito ni Tito Soto. At ang hindi ko lang malaman dito kung may issue nga yan si Senator Chis Escudero, na ito na nga ngayon, nakakaladkad na nga siya rito nitong isang lumabas ngayon na bagong pangalan na testimony. Ang hindi ko lang din malaman dito, bakit si Senator Marcolita, wala naman po siyang umula sa pool mula umpisa. Mukhang wala po si Senator Marcolita nababanggit, o hindi po siya nababanggit dito sa mga naglabasan ng mga pangalan. Ngunit ang nakakapagtaka, bakit siya pinalitan ni Lacson? Pansin niyo mga kababayan, Yun yung tanong ko lang dito Tanong ko lang yan, hindi ko naman po yan na sinasabi binibigyan ng kulay. Pero nagtataka lang ako. Kasi itong si Chis Escudero, mayroon siyang issue Ito na ngayon, lumabas na. Dati nabanggit na siya ng una. At ngayon nabanggit na naman siya nito. So ito, sinasabi niya, personal knowledge niya, itong mga binanggit niya. So dito muna tayo mag-focus kay Senator Chis Escudero, mga kababayan. Di ba? So, given itong naging reason kung bakit siya tinanggal, di ba? Pero bakit si Senator Marcolita? Yun yung isa sa mga question mark na ang hirap din mga kababayan, hinahanapan ko rin ng sagot hanggang ngayon. Kasi kung mayroong issue si Senator Marcolita sa dami-dami na ng lumalabas ngayon, bakit walang lumalabas ang pangalan niya? Di ba? Kung yun yung pag-uusapan natin sa yung trend ngayon na nangyayari, yung trend ngayon, di ba? bakit wala si Senator Marcolita? At yung mahiwagang tanong, bakit siya tinanggal bilang chairman? Di ba? So, balik tayo kay Senator Chess Escudero naman. Hindi. Si Senator Chess Escudero, bukod dyan mga kababayan, mayroon pa siyang mas malalim pa palang dahilan mga kababayan, no? At bago natin yan, alamin muna natin ang isa sa possible na dahilan kung bakit siguro tinanggal itong si Senator Marcolita bilang chairman. Ang nakikita ko dito mga kababayan, si Senator Marcolita kasi sa mga una natin pinakita sa video ito, di ba? Si Senator Marcolita lang ang nag-invite dito sa congressman na si Congressman Toby Chanco at si Mayor Magalong. At ang problema kay Mayor Magalong, hindi pumunta. While may mga pumunta naman na ibang mga government official, pumunta naman itong si Congressman Toby Chanco na supposed to be, ayon nga dito kay Lacson, in a tradition, di ba, hindi po sila yan obligado na pumunta. Pero, ang iginigiit ditong rason ni Senator Marcolita, oo nga, wala ngang obligasyon na sila ay pumunta dahil nga sa may parliamentary courtesy, di ba? At tradisyon ninyo yan. Correct. Pero, wala rin naman pong masama kung mismong ikaw na chairman ang mag-i-invite dito sa mga kapwa mong congressman o kapwa mong senador. Tama mga kababayan? So hindi naman din po yan tinutulan ni Lacson. Kung kaya't, ito siguro mga kababayan na nakikita nating dahilanan mo kung bakit si Senator Marcolita sinibak bilang chairman. Kasi si Senator Marcolita, kahit kasamahan niya, kaya niyang ipatawag. While ito ngayon si Lacson, kailangan mo pang paalalahanan. Ay nagtatanong lang tayo dito mga kababayan, or analyze lang naman natin ito, opinion lang din natin. Hindi natin tiyak kung yun nga talagang reason ng Senator Lacson. In fairness naman, eto na, sabi naman niya, kung nandito na si Saldico, i-invite na nila. So nagkasundo sila doon mga kababayan. So yun lang ang ating masasabi dito kay Senator Lacson at kay Senator Marcolita bilang dating chairman at ngayon ay member pa rin naman ng Blue Ribbon Committee. Ngayon, punta na po natin. Naalala nyo si Senator Chess Escudero mga kababayan ay mayroong isang video noon na nagtitrending na inagawan ng baso ng champagne ni First Lady Liza Marcos Araneta. At naging parang katawa-tawa ang eksinang ito mga kababayan. Naalala nyo po ba ito? Sino rito mga nakapanood dito at natatandaan nyo na po itong issue na ito? Well, ngayon mga kababayan, bakit ko po ito ibinabalik? Panoorin muna natin ang video ito bago natin komentuhan. Yan mga kababayan, ayun kung mapapansin ninyo, itong si First Lady Liza Marcos Araneta, ayan kitang-kita Nakita niyo mga kababayan, yung aksyong ginawa niya dito, di ba? First Lady Liza Marcos zips. Ayan sumipsip. Ayan sinipsip niya yung champagne ni Chess Escudero. Tingnan niyo mga kababayan, ito ayan kinuha niya ang champagne, hindi niya tiningnan si Chess Escudero. Okay? Tingnan niyo mga reaction mga kababayan pagkakuha niya, sabay inom. Pagkainom niya mga kababayan, saka pa lang siya tumitig kay Chess Escudero. Yan, tinitigan niya. Sabay balik mga kababayan. Balik, hindi na naman nakatingin. Pansin niyo mga kababayan? Ngayon, isa-isahin natin. Lapatan natin ang mga kahulugan nito mga kababayan Analyze. I-analyze lang natin to. Isa-isahin natin para mayroon kayong idea. Ito tuloy natin. Ito, kinuha at hindi nakatingin. Mga kababayan, itong si Chis Escudero, bago pa maganap yung event na yan, ay hindi po siya yung Senate President. Ang Senate President yan ay si Zubere. Si Zubere, mga kababayan, napalitan si Zubere nang ito ay pinayagan niya ang investigasyon ni Senator Bato de la Rosa at Jinggoy Estrada patungkol nga po dito sa pulburon issue dito kay BBM. Naalala nyo yun, di ba? Natanggal si Zubere at ipinalit niya itong si Chis Escudero. Pagkatapos noon, mga kababayan, eto na ang nangyari. Si Chis Escudero na yung biglang naging Senate President at ito naman ngayon ang sumunod na eksena. Tingnan nyo ako para sa akin, ang analyze ko lang dito, pagdampot nito na hindi nakikita ni Lisa Marcos Araneta, itong baso ng champagne ni Senator Chis Escudero, hindi kaya ang ibig sabihin nito? Kahit hindi ako nakatingin, kahit wala ako dyan sa Senado, kaya kitang ilagay dyan. Kuha niya, hindi siya nakatingin. Pagkakuha niya, sabay ininom. Ang pag-inom, akin yan. Ako ang may kapangyarihan magbigay sa iyo nito. Ako rin ang may kapangyarihan tumanggap nito, ay magtanggal sa iyo nito. Tingnan nyo Pagkainom niya, ibig sabihin, hindi siya tumingin, di ba? Hindi siya muna nakatingin. Ginanon niya ang baso. Pero, while in the course ng inom mo, nasakal pa rin siya, sumilip ngayon. Tingnan nyo sa kanya lang niya tinitigan. Pero, nauna niya na munang nailagay ang kanyang champagne o baso sa kanyang bibig. Saka siya tumitig. Tingnan nyo pagkatitig na ganon, ininom. Pagkainom, binalik uli sa kanya na hindi nakatingin. So, ibig sabihin mga kababayan, itong baso na ito, itong kapangyarihan na ito, kahit hindi ako nakatingin, kahit nakatingin ako sa iyo, kaya kong kunin, kaya kong ibalik sa iyo, o kaya kong ibigay sa iyo ito, kaya ko rin isauli sa iyo ito, o kaya ko rin tanggalin ito kahit hindi ako nakatingin. Hindi kaya yun ang meaning nito, mga kababayan? Kasi kung mababaw lang ang kahulugan nito, mga kababayan, this is big insult to the Senate President. Di ba? Pili na lang kayo. Anong gusto niyong kahulugan? Mababaw na kahulugan o malalim na kahulugan? Insulto yan. Bakit? Aagawan ka lang ng baso. Wala ba ibang mga baso dyan? Imposible naman yan, mga kababayan. First lady yan, wala siyang baso. At saka imposible naman din si Senator Chis Escudero may hawak ng baso ni napaka hindi decente yun para sa isang Senate President na kukuha ka ng baso na hindi mo baso. Gets nyo, mga kababayan? Kaya nga, pagka ito palapatan mo lang literal at mababaw na kahulugan, kasi ang mababaw na kahulugan dito lalabas talaga literal lang. So kung literal lang, napakabastos naman ni First Lady para mag-agaw ng baso. Bakit wala bang ibang baso dyan? Ganyan ba siya katanggera, lasinggera na, alam mo naman mga lasinggero, di ba? O pwede yan gawin kasi lasing na Pero sa tingin mo naman, mga kababayan, lasing ba siya dito? Hindi pa naman masyado, di ba? Hindi pa naman siguro Tingnan natin, parang nag-uumpisa pa lang ng laklakan, di ba? O kung nakakalasing ba yan, yung champion, di ko alam. Hindi pa naman ako nakakatikim yan. So, ibig sabihin dito, mga kababayan, mayroon po itong malalim na kahulugan. At hindi kaya ito yung kahulugan nito. Natanggal si Chis Escudero sapagkat Senate President. At ang mas malalim pa, lalaliman pa natin, mga kababayan, hindi kaya isa ito sa bala ngayon lumabas na itong issue kay Chis Escudero. Parang sinasabi, naalala niyo kay Vice President Inday Sara Duterte, yung 125 million confidential fund, binigay yun December 11 na. Ilang araw na lang. Or 11 days na lang. 11 days na lang, hindi na, di ba? So, pag hindi yun nagastos, may kaso rin si BP Inday Sara. Ang problema nila ngayon, mautak si BP Inday Sara. Dinala niya sa Intelligence Confidential Fund. Na kasi ang Intelligence Confidential Fund, hindi mo po talaga po pwedeng questionin yan. Hindi mo po pwedeng alamin kasi nga delikado po ang ating threaten po ang ating national security. Magkakahitot-hitot po tayo, delikado po ang ating national security. Doon niya nilagay. Ano kayo ngayon? Yun yung ginagamit na bala kay Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Ang problema, sabi nga sa kasabihan, tuso man ng matching na paglalamangan din. Nalamangan sila ni BP Inday Sara kasi doon niya linagay sa confidential fund. O di sige, kalkalin ninyong confidential fund, kalkalin nyo rin ang confidential fund ni Marcos. Kasi mas malaki yan kay Marcos, bilyon-bilyon. Samantalang kay Vice President Inday Sara Duterte ay 100 lang. Wala pa nga sa kalingkingan katiting na bilyon-bilyon eh. Biro mo 125 million versus 4 billion. Butal-butal lang talaga, sa totoo lang mga kababayan. Pero dito sila nakafocus. Bakit? Takot ba kayo kay Marcos? O kasabwat kayo ni Marcos? Ha? Hindi. Di ba mga kababayan? So, di ba? Ito, sa nakikita natin dito, mayroon talagang napaka-master na nakikita niya balang araw, mayroon akong mga bala sa inyo kaya huwag kayong papalag. Kasi may mga bala ako sa inyo. Ang problema ng sa kay BP Inday Sara hindi umubra. Di ba? So, anong nangyayari ngayon mga kaubayan? Sa tingin nyo, mayroon talagang gumagalaw dito ngayon na mas malalalim pa dito? Well, yan po ang ating aabangan. Nakakagulat mga kababayan, ano? Binay, Ramon Revilla Jr., Bong Revilla. Naalala ko lang, no? Yung Binay, nung nakarang eleksyon, Abi Binay, kapatid ni itong nababanggit ngayon na si Nancy Binay, na si dating senadora, at ngayon mayor na ng Makati, naisip-isip ko lang, naalala ko lang mga kababayan, na si Binay, kakampiyan dati ng mga Aquino. Di ba? Yung matandang Binay. Tapos, kalaban niya ng mga Marcos. Tama hindi? Kalaban niya ng mga Marcos kasi kakampingan ng mga ni Cory. Si Cory nga yatang dahilan kung bakit naging QI si mayor yan sa Makati. At nagtuloy-tuloy na lang na sila na lang naging mayor sa Makati. Di ba? So, madikit na madikit ito sa mga Aquino, si Vice President Binay, yung tatay. Itong anak, kumampi kay Marcos nitong nakarang eleksyon. Gets yung mga kababayan, naalala niyo? Si Bong Revilla, Senator Bong Revilla dati, di ba nasa ticket din yun ni Marcos? Di ba ang sinasabi nila ay talagang 12-0? Naalala niyo mga kababayan? At lumalabas sa sorbe itong si Binay at saka itong si Senator Bong Revilla. Di hamak naman. Kahit papaano, kung ako pamimiliin nyo lang, ako lang, kung dalawa na lang pagpipilian mga kababayan Lito Lapid tsaka Bong Revilla. Bong Revilla na lang ako. Although sabihin na lang natin na ay sablay si Senator Bong Revilla, ito na naman ngayon, meron na naman, di ba? Pero para sa akin kung pagpipiliin ako sa dalawa, kahit papaano, Bong Revilla, di ba? Kaya lang, ayan na nga, nandyan na nga. So ito mga kababayan, ito nang nangyayari ngayon. Talo itong dalawang ito. Binay na katikit ni Marcos, Bong Revilla na katikit ni Marcos. Anong nasa sa isip ninyo mga kababayan? Bakit pasok na pasok sa sorbi yung Binay at saka itong Marcos, itong Bong Revilla, bakit yung si Dagat, si Bam Aquino na hindi man lang nababanggit-banggit sa mga sorbe na dati na pong talunan sa panahon ng Tatay Digong, 8 diretso po sila iniduro. Bakit sila ngayon ang out of nowhere biglang nanalo? At itong mga ito hindi katikit ni BBM. Samantalang si Bong Revilla, Abi Binay, katikit po ni BBM nitong nakarang eleksyon. Well, mga kababayan, kayo na po ang humusga kung ano po ba ang katotohanan, ano po ang mga nangyayari sa ating bayan. Sino pa talaga ang mas malalaking tao pa ang mananagot ngayon? Siguro, napansin nyo na, naisip nyo na, ngayon, napagtanto nyo na kung anong kahulugan ng pag-agaw ng baso ni Bake. Dito kay Senator Chis Escudero. Maraming salamat mga kababayan. Kung ano po ang inyong masasabi sa video ito, paki-comment nyo na lang po dyan sa comment section sa baba. Maraming salamat kung nakarating ka sa dulong part ng video ito. At ilagay nyo na rin po ang inyong lugar kung taga saan kayo. Siyempre pa, maraming salamat sa inyo lahat. Pilipinas, as always, magbabalik tayo. Bye-bye po.